Beautiful North Point middle bunkhouse bonus room here at Helix RV of Coldwater, Michigan. 14,210 pounds, so plan your tow vehicle accordingly. And if you don't know if your vehicle can handle this, the good news is we do, because we also do specialty towing vehicles here at Helix RV, hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, and everything else. Though we don't do dealer fees, we do leave that to the other guys. Like most fifth wheels, this North Point mid-bunk allows for, upper deck access pretty freely with the slide-out close. That's not too much of an issue. Where it becomes a little trickier is when you attempt to try to access the, say, kitchen area. Now, if you're a little bit skinny, like I'm borderline, when I'm closer to 200 pounds, I think I'd really have to suck it in to get through here. When I'm less than 200 pounds, I think I could make it, but I'm still going to have to do a sideways travel trailer shuffle. But if that is the case, or if you are willing to just move this one slide even partially, because this is 12-volt operated, you could move it out just a few inches to get that flange past this wall. You could access at least half the fridge and freezer, and then you could access this side of the dining area to be able to stop and maybe grab a bite to eat or something in transit. And I mean from top to bottom, inside and out. This is one sexy beast. This is a sight to behold right here. And they've really upped their North Point game down at Jayco. They've stepped this up quite a bit. Now, there are quite a few middle bunkhouse bonus rooms out there. They all have their neat qualities, and I like to give them all their due. But, you know, they all have different advantages. So which one's the better one for you? Well, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. So what I want to do is point out the areas where this thing is sharp and kind of go from there. Now, we've got the whisper ducted Helix AC system back here. That will knock down a significant amount of the volume from the air conditioner so that you don't have to crank the TV up to 11, just to watch a show or whatever. You don't have to shout at the person next to you. If the camera has a little trouble focusing now and then, it's because my frosty breath might get in front of the lens and kind of screw up the focus here and there. Now, one thing I do appreciate they did is they put those accent-colored batten strips up here, and it really highlights the Magnum Truss XL6 roof system that we have here, double vaulted inside and outside. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get outdoors. Although, these accent lights above the opposing slide outs really help cascade some extra light up there. And if I kill the overhead lights, or the main cabin lights, if I can find the right switch, you can see it's still pretty nice and comfy in here, but it's not quite as bitey. So this is nice. Man, that high intensity lighting doesn't mess around, does it? But during the daytime, you're going to like that high intensity lighting, and at night you'll like that softer glow. Now, this North Point 377, it is a little bit longer than most middle bunkhouse bonus rooms, and people don't understand that. They're like, I don't get it. The other one's a triple slide middle bunkhouse. Why is this one bigger? Well, here's the detail stuff you got to notice, guys. You see how they put an extra pantry in this slide out? That extended the coach. Now, by contrast, that means that they got to go with a larger theater seat across from that because they gained some bonus space with a bigger pantry. You know, the knee bone connects to the leg bone, and that's the trickiest part of RVs. Some people are like, well, why don't they just do this? Because they would have to drastically alter the RV to accommodate that. And just the pantry offers a significant benefit. I mean, it's very awesome, and we'll get to that in a second. And it makes this nice and big, but it also makes the coach a little bit longer, a little bit heavier, maybe a little bit more expensive. Well, and as long as you understand those differences, that's okay. But there's so many places I've found that can't explain those differences. That's why I put these videos together, so that you know what you're getting into. Now, Jayco's really done a bang-up job with their entertainment centers across from this theater seating, that big extra-wide electric space heating fireplace. They have a gas strut-assisted, easy up-down TV. What I like about that is when you push it down like we see right here, you gain the benefit of that extra breeze window. And above that, you have your nicely sort of tucked away entertainment system. Something else they're doing is they're including HDMI and USB powered plugs on the front face of this here. So if you want to add Chromecast or Roku sticks or whatever for streaming entertainment, you can. Up here, that accent piece right up there is a very easy way to see the vaulted ceiling on this because I don't use fisheye camera lenses. And as we pan down, you'll notice whether it's the windows beside the sofa or on the sides of the slide out, every window in this opens for ventilation, and every window is fully trimmed out very nicely, and it just gives a very nice, dedicated aesthetic. Another thing they're very good at in these Jaycos is that every light over your head's really pretty much going to have a switch. There's very few click-touch lights, and that is not really common necessarily in this price point. The nice roller shades here really black out the sun if that's what you're looking for as well, and I love how they just sort of melt away. Now this is a very large trifold sleeper sofa, so that is adult friendly. And you see that little ottoman down there? That's a little extra thing Jayco throws in here. You know, and that it costs a few bucks. It has a few pounds to it. It's nothing major, but every ounce of storage counts, and the convenience of being able to float that around cannot be understated. We've got 6.5 foot tall walk-in slides. We've got 110 powered open close heat massage theater recliners here. Again, directly across from the entertainment center for easy viewing. The dining table over there, I love what they've done. It's very much like a diesel pusher dinette, where you've got the twin fold-away guest chairs that are decor matching, of course. And speaking of decors, there are different decors available. This is, what is this called? Espresso. This is called Espresso right here. But there's different decors. The video here might be a little different from the one that we have on hand. This is here mostly, you know, for information. I'll let you know about this coach and I'll let you know about us here at Helix RV and the stuff that we do. So you've got sort of like a mobile desk station with that easy lift top. That is an extension leaf down there if you do need guests. And Jayco standard insulates the slides, or the floors of all their slide outs, even in their most basic travel trailers. So you're most definitely getting the benefit of that here. As we stand back, more of those little diesel pushery features like that cool ceiling accent lighting fixture sort of come into play. I like the little backlit, you know, North Point graphic that they have above that door. Just something to sort of fill up that wall right there. It looks nice. Now, when they went extra wide in the kitchen, they were able actually to extend the kitchen island as well. So this has an oversized island, but what I love is that they didn't do it stupid. And what I mean by that is they put the sink off to one side. They didn't centralize the sink, because that leaves room for big, like wastebasket storage below. And you can see those big triple full extension drawers on this end. You're getting more prep space and more drawer space as a result. And they also have that little, you know, single bar stool for just sort of, you know, breakfast bars or anything like that. Now, what you might notice, you see how bright it is on top of the stool. There's actually LED accent lighting under that island. And what's neat is you basically have one switch for accent lighting through the whole coach. You can flip one switch, and in specific rooms, and all the rooms in different places, there'll be these little night lights that'll kind of light up off one switch, so if you need to wake up at night and get through your RV without blaring these high intensity lights, you're going to be able to do so. So I've mentioned this pantry over here a few times, built directly into the slide, and that is something a lot of middle bunkhouse lack, guys, because most triple slide rear living rooms, which is what this is, you know, at the start, they have a pantry against that wall. Well, you can't do that in a middle bunkhouse because then you block access to things. So instead, they, like I said, that's why they extended this over here. But what's cool is not only do they have this pantry, you've actually got a nice little appliance space back there. You see that dedicated power outlet and more drawers. And these are all, even these drawers are residential soft close type drawers. Look at that. Just doing a beautiful job. There you go. Down here, this is also like a drawer in a drawer kind of thing. Just like to point that out because that's an easily missed thing. You see how I left that drawer below the stove or oven kicked out a little bit. Oh, my battery light's blinking. If the battery kicks out, I'll swap batteries. We'll keep going. Pardon me. This is the new luxury Furrion stove. What I like about this, it's very much like a residential stove in a lot of ways, in that it has a true like sealed burner, so that you don't have to like pick the thing half apart to clean it. And that is a real tile backsplash. That's actually not the original backsplash they had, because this thing can cook so hot they were melting the original backsplash, so they did have to go to a higher grade tile to accommodate that. You will find all of your woodwork. It's all raised panel hardwood doors with hidden hinges. One of the differences often between a North Point and a Pinnacle is this will have a residential size microwave. A Pinnacle, you'll typically find a convection microwave, though it can physically fit in there. You can do that. Refrigerators, we typically do the 18 cubic foot gas electric refrigerators in these so that you have better travel functionality. You have like power loss functionality. You have off the grid, easy access functionality without needing a generator necessarily. There's different fridges do different things better in different ways. I'm not saying the residential fridge is the worst thing ever. I'm saying there's a reason we do these. The other thing is serviceability. God forbid you need service work on those residential fridges. Good luck. I mean, it is not fun, and that's one of the biggest reasons we moved away from it, because we are very much a service-oriented dealer, and if we can't fix something that a manufacturer puts in, we tend not to put it into something. the big giant high-rise faucet here. You've got the twin stainless sink, the bamboo cutting board that is flush mount, by the way, and the roll-away aluminum drying rack. That has become a really big popular thing. We actually have customers calling us saying, those little things you have in your Jaycos, can I get that in my camper? Now, right around here, this is easy to miss, so I want to kind of point out to people where the light switches are in this middle bonus room. And again, you can use this for bunks, you could use this for an office, a guest room, and, I mean, it's really a fully featured second living room in so many ways. You got this little removable table with those posts there. This is a tri-fold sleeper sofa if you need to open that up. What's nice is you can open that up and it doesn't smash against the cabinetry over here, which is something I've seen some tri-folds fail to do properly. 300-pound rated upper bunk. And I know I'm just throwing a lot of, like, just straight features at you guys, like, real fast. But there's a ton to cover in these North Points. I kind of just have to blaze through it with a little surface overview. Then if you have questions, I have to trust that you'll call and give us a chance to fix those, or answer those, rather. So this is where I kind of call this one, this is something of a bonus room, not just a bunkhouse. A bunkhouse, middle bunk to me is just beds. This is a bonus room because you have like your nice little office desk station here, your entertainment center. This actually has its own separate full entertainment system. So if you are looking for multi-room separate entertainment, you have that here. And they didn't waste anything. They utilized every square inch of space they possibly could. Now over here, this is kind of cool. This is a little skinny micro pantry. You're not going to do a whole heck of a lot with that. And this isn't terribly impressive. But when you open this, you go, oh my gosh, that is awesome. So you've got a hanging rack here. You have adjustable, removable shelves. And if you look, it's actually a pass-through door. They allow you to really maximize however you want to utilize this space to the greatest of its possible capacity. Kill some lights, save some power, save a tree, whatever. Moving on, moving upstairs. You've got your, by the way, wall controller here with multiple speed settings for the max air vent fan. So if you are cooking up a storm, that can exhaust heat. And if you look, there's a little umbrella indicator on there which says, hey, if it starts raining, this thing will probably go ahead and close itself for you. That being said, I recommend you do it yourself and not trust a sensor to do a job for you that could potentially result in RV damage. Just use your head. Now, this little thing right here, it's like one control. What is that? Well, that's this little touchpad over here. This can do a lot of different functions for you on the RV. It has awning, leveling, lighting, slide options, and you can get the One Control app off the App Store. You can control anything on this panel right off your phone. It actually has, I've done a separate video showing people how to hook up to that. So if you have questions, we'll power up that video. Now, I like that they extended the upper deck right here because, one, it makes the outside kitchens located under those steps. And that also gave them a perfect place to hide what I call the electric dustpan. But your central vacuum system and the little sweep them up port right there. But what I like about this is it doesn't require like an 8-foot ladder to get to the upper loft bunk here. Now, Jayco is not a brand, especially here in the North Point segment, that is all about cutting corners. They're still using thicker bed mattresses. They're still including them. There are a lot of brands in their loft areas or attic areas, however you want to think about it, they have started to phase these out because it gives the appearance of something bigger and it can save a little money. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with those. Less weight, less money, those are good things. I'm not knocking anybody. And there are a lot of people who don't use this for sleeping, who do use it just for tote storage, so that's fine. And a lot of brands actually, they put TV hookups on that wall of the upper bunk. But if you think about it, when you climb in, you're going to have your head on that side and face this way. So it's a little bit of extra thought that went into these North Points. It just makes a little bit more sense that way. Now there's, like I said, in different rooms, you have those little lower accent lights. There's where you can see it in the bathroom so that at night you can get through here and not have to get blinded by anything. Now we walk in the bathroom, and this is a very common bathroom layout you find in a lot of big fifth wheels in the industry. It's become very effective, very popular, so everybody builds something like it. But again, Jayco goes a little bit further. They add that extra little overhead linen cabinet right there. The shower here is extra tall. That's another thing on your North Points. It's another reason they're a little bit heavier, a little bit more expensive. They are about 6 inches taller in the upper deck than nearly anything else I've seen. It is very noticeable when you get in the bedroom. Seamless, one-piece, fiberglass molded shower, so there's no seams or water can penetrate, and you can literally jump stomp in that thing without hurting it. Now, a lot of people are going, why didn't they recess the plumbing? Remember, they have a taller shower. They didn't have to, so they didn't have to steal from your storage below. Now, this is something that they kind of borrowed. Ooh, I picked the right switch. They borrowed from their sister, the Eagle. It's this backlit morning mirror, and it just helps add a little bit of extra indirect light here. And I love this floating style medicine cabinet. It's got a very just attractive look to it. Going up here into the bedroom, there's where they have their lower accent lights. King beds are optional in North Points. That being said, unless you are custom ordering one, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a North Point built without a king bed sitting on a dealer's lot. In big fifth wheels, this is the expectation. Something different on Jayco's, though, is they do have full under bed storage. Not every brand has that. More and more are adopting it, but it is not yet standard across the board. Breeze windows through the head area, and I forgot to turn on the headboard lights. Under that, you can see a couple light fixtures up there, but you really don't need it. I love the aesthetic of their sliding doors. It's got a very, I don't know, something about it, it just feels a little bit zen to me. The little offset woodwork that they have going on here, and they're both fully mirrored. And I kind of split the difference here so you can see the stackable washer dryer prep. You can see the big storage on that side. But the nose cap actually recesses back. You're going to see a couple of our TV boxes in here. Turn on some lights. Oh, that's motion sensitive. Cool. The whole closet, it recesses all the way up into the nose cap. Big time storage shoe garage. This is an extra folding chair. Whole bunch of your TVs back here, by the way. And you actually have 2 places for those hanging rods so that you can, you can have tons of clothing in this thing. Your bedroom TV will be equipped up here. That's become pretty much a standard thing in a lot of these big fifth wheels. Now, second AC is an option, but that is something that we generally apply to anything that has a full bedroom slide out here at Helix RV. We try to make sure that the big units have the big airflow to have big time fun. Cosmetically, I think this is the best looking North Point they've put out. It's got a lot of good looks to it. But another thing that it has that is very uncommon anymore, a couple brands tried to match it, and then it seems like everybody fell off, was, you see that big blue 2, a full 2-year warranty. Because there is no longer full RV warranty than what Jayco puts out. There are 3-year structural warranties out there. Some of them cover next to nothing, but Jayco covers the structure. They cover their equipment. They even, hypothetically, let's say this refrigerator, let's say its manufacturer only offers a 1-year guarantee. Jayco will still cover it for the 2nd year. And the reason is they do more testing than anybody else. And the best example of that is the guy who designs the Eagle fifth wheels and travel trailers. He used to work at another brand. And when a parts supplier would come to him and say, hey, we got this new water heater, it's just slick as a skateboard trick, he would say, well, does Jayco use it? And if they said yes, then he'd go ahead and use it because he knew they had already done the testing. And that thought process and mindset goes into this product all over the place. It's part of the reason they use these nicer rolled steel countertops in this little miniature outside kitchenette. I say miniature, it's actually fairly large in size, with that extra power outlet right where you can reach it too. You can put all kinds of extra fun little things in here. When you're done with it, she just kind of slides away, and I am going to go ahead and close this door because we do have a little bit of snow come down. I don't want that getting inside anything if I can help it. We got our, these are technically compression latches, although you can pretty much slam them like a normal slam latch and have no issues. You might also notice they're not using magnet latches. And again, that goes exactly back to the testing. With their big anti-slam entry door that they have on this, which is extra tall, by the way. I'm 6'3", and I can stand in that without having to duck. So it's like a 6'5", well, no, it's 6.5 foot. Look at how tall it is in exact relevance to the Super Slide that's 6.5 foot tall inside. That's a 6.5 foot tall doorway. That's cool. So it's wider and taller, which is neat. But that's exactly why they don't use magnet latches. Because if that door slams shut, it could, in theory, even though it rarely does happen, it could cause this door to fall on your head. So they use struts, so that can't happen. They're making sure it never happens. Instead of using the felt flooring in here, which, moisture travels down. This is the same lining that they have in the trunks of cars. This is nice stuff. And I don't mind it on the sidewalls, but moisture tends to settle, and that's why I like having that. This is the exact same industrial, rubberized flooring they put in the floor of their toy haulers at Jayco. Now, You may notice they're outside TV hookups. They have a little plug right here to feed them down because this is fully skirted. They don't cut that corner. It's not just enclosed between the I-beams. It's enclosed in its entirety. And you see the propane hookup for the outside kitchen right there. So this is where you have your, like if you do want to put a big solar controller in or something like that, they do actually have a mounting location for it. That's something that not every coach does have. Your dump for the central vacuum system is out here, not inside the coach. The big 12 to 10 inch drop frame transition allows for just maximum storage in here. I mean, it's got it all. I don't know what more you need from it. It just does everything. Automatic leveling on this. 6-point auto leveling at that. Programmable hitch height memory in that system so that you can, you know, when you get ready to break camp, the fifth wheel will drop back to the appropriate height to just back your truck up and hitch up and go. Speaking of hitching up and going, we can start talking about the 5-star handling package on your Jayco North Points and Pinnacles. They share this package. I'm just going to fire a couple quick ones off here, but like the thing that you can see very obviously up front is the MORryde pin box system. This costs a little more than the other upgrade rubber shock dampening pin box that you find out there, but it also does something the other one doesn't. It has an 1.5 inch side to side shock dampening travel, not just the 3 inches front to back. Now, you've got MORryde here, and you've got a MORryde suspension system that vertically shock dampens. So you actually have 6-direction shock dampening on this. And then we have Dexter Axles that a lot of people know about. So there's a lot of extra, if you don't know about Dexter Axles, basically they're like the gold standard of the axle business. They're more expensive, but they're like legendary. They just basically, there's never anything wrong with them. Little differences here. And it's one of the things, again, that makes this a little bit heavier, a little bit more expensive. But you see how there's no piece of vertical trim right here. There's no pre-crack in the fiberglass of Jayco fifth wheel upper decks. Well, the reason is they use a thicker, heavier box tube steel frame right here. They actually have flanges that come off the side of it that are supporting the sidewalls. Just like you have outriggers down below, they do the same thing above. And that is what allows them to have no breaks in their fiberglass, because this thing should and have no problems holding together better, stronger, longer term. That's the goal of this product. A little detail stuff too, like if you look under this overhead slide, they have a couple little extra lights right here. And that little, so we've got the switch and then the actual light, but that's next to like your propane and your docking center. So at night you can have a little bit better view of what's going on here. Your docking center, fully enclosed. And I love that this door swings open, because if it lifted open, you'd have to duck under it because of that overhead slide right here. But your fully enclosed privatized docking station with heated protected gate valves is part of the reason this has among the very best cold camp ratings out there. In a 0-degree tested scenario, Jayco North Point fifth wheels registered something like 58 degrees in the underbelly. That is just outstanding. Oh, I don't want to gloss over this. These tires are awesome. Goodyear Endurance radial tires. They're using some of the very best tires, and these are American made, American sourced, American installed, all that good stuff. But they're rated for up to 87 miles per hour on the highway. You should never be doing that with this coach behind you. The point is, it is overrated. They're not using minimal rated tires. Now, this is something that's going to throw a lot of people off. And this is something that the negative Nancy marketing managers at Brand X might try to cloud your head with. You're going to look at that and you're going to say, wait a minute, those are only E-rated? You need to understand the difference between tire ratings. A lot of it also has to do with RVIA code. It's kind of, I'm not going to get into mathematical specifics on this, but long story short, if they would have put a G-rated tire on this, the tires would have actually been overrated and literally out of mathematical spec for code. Now, you can do that as a consumer, but dealers and manufacturers, we can't do that. There's actual guidelines around these things, but it so rarely comes into play. So these E-rated tires actually have a higher load rating and sidewall rating than Chinese G-rated tires that you typically find in this business and price point. It is not necessarily the letter on the tire that makes the difference. You do still need to do a little bit of research on the quality and grade of the tire. They're using the highest quality, highest grade tires on these in their 5-star luxury handling package. We put the Santacon turbo dump system on this. It's a power exhaust macerator, and what's kind of neat is they put it back here in the best possible location, and it actually basically has its own, it is its own sewer hose and handle effectively, so it's more hands-free. It also empties twice as fast, so you're going to spend half as much time emptying your holding tanks, and there is a manual bypass. God forbid you need to ever mess with it. It can even pump uphill to a degree. It's with that power exhaust on it. The little cargo accessory rack on the back here, again, not a towing hitch, because towing would probably put this thing into length restriction problems. This is just for like bike racks and whatnot. But how many of these RVs tout their 3-year structural warranties? But if you want to put a bike rack on the back, you void that 3-year structural warranty. They're begging you to do it. They're begging you to get themselves off the hook. Not Jayco. They put the hitch on the back so that you're not voiding anything. And it's just smarter. It's just smarter what they're doing. Kind of like they have LED tail and marker lights. Not everybody has LED marker lights. Now you can see where that trim line is up top, and you can actually see some of the roof membrane on top of it. That is a result of the Magnum Truss XL6 roof system on the Jayco luxury fifth wheels. It is hands down the heaviest rated system out there. It gives equal insulation across the span of the roof, so it holds more weight. It has plywood roof decking instead of OSB, and it has that full 6-inch vault inside and outside. Now, everybody knows that an arched structure is more load-bearing than a flat structure, so arched inside and outside is even more so. That's why you can walk all over the roof of this thing, and it doesn't feel like it really flexes much at all. The second power awning on here gives you maximum, patio space, and something a lot of folks don't realize. Like, there's a lot of these easy tilt power awnings up there, but on a big fifth wheel, you'd have to reach really high to get it. That's exactly why they use this awning. When the awning is closed, like you see it right now, you can actually push that button, and you could slide these arms up and down when the awning is closed and at a reachable point. And it can actually, as long as this knob and that knob are within 3 holes of one another, the awning can open and close without issue, with no problems. They're using the better 0G step on this, and instead of telling you all about it, I can actually just show it to you here. Give me just a moment. Open the door out of the way, lift this up with one easy hand, and there you go. I mean, it doesn't fall on us. It holds itself. It's got that extra little gas strut in here. They spent a little extra money on a better system to make sure that it stays in place. It's also why they're using the extra large entry door handle. Even little details like they mount the speakers in the skirt instead of in the sidewall, because it's one less hole they have to cut in the wall. It's one less potential failure point. It's why they're able to put double the full warranty on this versus just about anybody else. Now, I'm not saying other RVs aren't good. God knows we have plenty of different RV brands here at Helix RV. They all have cool qualities. They're all good in different ways. So the trick for you, which one is, quote, the best, kind of depends on what you're looking to accomplish. And the general thing that I tell people all the time when comparing against a gold standard product like any Jayco really is the 1 or 2 gimmick, neat, special features the other brand has. Can you live without them? Because if you can live without them, you're probably going to be happier with the Jayco. If you can't live without them, then there's no other way to go. So that's sort of the logic and the mindset that goes into these. Hopefully that helps, that makes sense. I know I've done a lot of very fast flyby information here. This is a huge product with so much going on below the skin, it's not even funny. I really cannot do it justice in just a quick flyby video on this. And I say quick, I'm sure I'm close to 20 to 30 minutes by now. My point, though, is we could spend 2 hours talking about it and still not cover everything. So let us know how you want to camp, where you want to camp. Tell us about your lifestyle and your family, and that is what helps us help you get matched up with the appropriate coach. And that's why we carry so many different things here at Helix, because they're all cool for different reasons. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.